Some of you may or may not know the McCormicks. If some Sunday you want to come into the 9:30 service, you'll see them sitting right over here. As many of you, they have their family pew. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good. It's great to see you guys, and thank you for taking just a few minutes to come. First of all, just tell us a little something about yourselves. Where are you from, and tell us about your family, either one of you.
Dek and I are both from southern Indiana. I grew up in Bedford. He grew up in Vincennes. We moved to Zionsville and came to church at this congregation on Palm Sunday, 1990. Okay. We have 5 children who are all grown and married. And so when we moved here, I said we had dating to diapers. In this church congregation, we had 4 confirmed, several through preschool, through youth group, and we had 2 daughters married in the church on Oak Street.
Grandchildren?
We have 7 with an 8th on the way.
All right, how exciting for you. So it's that time in the life of the church where we take up our pledges, our estimates of our giving for the coming year. Most people, if they're active in this church, have received something in the mail about that. All kinds of nonprofits. This is the time of year. They know it's the time to be generous with Christmas coming. So just take a minute, if you would, and just share with us a little bit about, about just generally your attitude toward giving and sharing in the world. Either one of you.
Well, the first and most important part is that we never get to see you guys in the second service. But the first service went out of here in praise, saying that they're going to set a record this year on their giving, so just be prepared. I think important for us was that when we did come to the Zionsville United Methodist Church on Oak Street, and we decided that that was a real good fit for us, there was never anybody that asked us, so what will be your commitment to the church from a financial standpoint? It's what separates churches from other nonprofits and charitable organizations, I think, because you have to decide on your own what makes the most sense. It's not a country club. If you don't pay your dues next month, you're not asked to leave. So it's very personal. And for us, we were used to always supporting a church, but we never, what I would call, risk it. In other words, get too involved, because you never know. You know, we had kids, we had college staring at us, we had 4 girls that we'd be helping with weddings. But when this church decided that it was in the best interest to build a new church, then you had to do something. And I think it dawned on us that we were the benefactors of people who had built the Oak Street Church, and we did not have to participate in that to take full advantage of it. So the thought of helping with the new church here was a big step up, and it was a commitment, and I would just say we learned how to go well beyond what we thought was comforting and not worry about it. Somehow it will work out.
So how did you, for you guys, just, it pops into my mind, like you say, well, we just kind of made a big step. I mean, what got you through the worry or through the, you know what I mean? What did it? Did you just encourage one another, or what were those conversations like?
Well, I would say that on my part, I've been a participant more with my time. I tried my best to find a fit for me that gave me the opportunity to serve. Dek has always been very encouraging as far as the financial commitment, and I would say that it was through prayerful consideration and discussion between the two of us. What could we do? What should we do? And what will we do? And that, I would say, that was probably the biggest thing. We've never had a dispute about the giving to the church. And I think that we've been blessed for that.
Yeah. What is that? When you say, I think we've been blessed for that, what has that felt like for you?
Well, I think that what happened was that we just had to recognize that if we felt very compelled to help the church much more than we had ever done, that somehow it would all turn out okay. And we didn't know. And somehow it did. Everything worked out just fine. And as we've got older, it's much like your sermon last week on stewardship. The picture just gets more clear. It just is easier, I think, to see where things are heading to and how you can be part of that. The church has the way to do things beyond what you can do by yourself. And I think that's the beautiful part of what the scriptures teach, is that you can learn to turn me into we.
Yeah. Nice. Well, any closing words of advice for our congregation? Patty, you've got the microphone.
When we moved to Zionsville, we didn't know a soul, and I would say Zionsville United Methodist Church became our first Zionsville family, extended family. We've been here 28 years. Many of the people are still here that we met the first day we walked in. Many of them are people that I've just met this year through some of my volunteer activities, and there's no place like home.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for taking the time to come. And for those of you that don't know Dek and Patty, when you see them in the halls, just stop. They're friendly people, and they'd love to get to know you. So,
Can I say one?
yes, absolutely.
I'd just like to say, too, that this church has been able to take it is not fun to pay a mortgage, but this church is now within reach of being without a mortgage. We are under $200,000. 3 years ago, we were $2.356 million. Now, that's not our operating budget. That's not our missions and all the other things that get supported here. But we are so close to being mortgage-free, which will allow us to do who knows.
Yeah, excellent. And thank you for that. Friends, the McCormicks.